What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We are the Wrestling Junkies podcast tonight. It's not a normal episode. As always, we are bringing to you Coastal Countdown with our friends at Coastal Empire Wrestling, the official preview show of all Coastal Empire Wrestling events. I am joined by the podcast dad, Choops. How we doing, buddy?
Good, man. I thought there was a part of that song where it was like, right? I thought it was a kid screaming. I'm looking around like, you got the podcast dad on his toes right now. So, hey, how you doing?
I'm good. These are some of my favorite shows of the month. We get to break down everything that's going on in Savannah, Georgia, the world of Coastal Empire Wrestling. Thank you all for joining us tonight. As always, you can find the Wrestling Junkies on X and TikTok at Junkies Pod. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Junkies Pod, but do us a huge favor and subscribe to that YouTube channel, Podcast Dad. We are at 504 YouTube subscribers. That's a pretty fucking exciting number there. So tell our friends out there what they should do.
So one person, if you like what we're doing here, sorry, I had some trail mix before the show, so I'm trying to get that out of my throat. But all right. Don't even comment. If you like what we're doing here, just enjoy, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a family, tell a dispensary, tell a stinky links or whatever the hell they're called.
Sneaky link. Thank you.
Well,
you just way to show the fact that you're a dad, dude.
My bad. Whatever. Could be a stinky link. It depends on what you're into. But just tell anybody, if you like what we're doing, just subscribe. Let's have some fun. Let's continue to do what we love.
And Pat Rouch is in the chats here. Wants to get a moment of silence for Ozzy. You know what? I think that is a phenomenal idea. So I'm not boozing just yet this evening, but yeah, let's just take a quick beat for Prince of Darkness. WWE Hall of Famer Ozzy Osbourne, thank you for everything, sir. Podcast dad.
Listening all day to Ozzy and Black Sabbath. I will say that.
I like it.
So, yeah. All right.
I like it. All-time favorite Sabbath song?
Man, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath is tough to beat. I will say that.
It's fair. That's fair. I'm basic. Iron Man or Crazy Train. You know.
Yeah. Listen to some of the older stuff. That's what I'll say. Sweet Leaf. Ooh, Sweet Leaf's a banger. If you haven't heard that one, you'll like that one.
All right. I appreciate it. Well, it's time to talk a little bit of wrestling. Podcast Dad, as always, all friends can follow Coastal Empire Wrestling on X at CEW Savannah. You can also like them on Facebook, and there is an official fan page as well, so you can get the latest on everything happening. Again, Tusslepalooza was last month. This weekend, Legends of the Lowcountry, 10 incredible matches here. And I figured we could use a little bit of help to break down not just what happened last month, but to talk about what's going on this weekend. And I would be remiss if we did not ask this particular person to join us, because not only is he the reigning defending Coastal Empire Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, he had probably I feel like I say this every month that we talk about him, this was probably his toughest test to date. Not only did he have to contend with Jay Alpha Miller, who can just straight up bring it in the ring. This was a physical, bloody battle, but they did it without a fucking top rope and made it look like a masterpiece. So without further ado, let's bring in the Coastal Empire Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Hollywood, Hunter James. Hunter, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
How we doing, guys? Yeah, no top rope, busted open. It was a hard night in the office.
You made it look easy.
I don't want to say easy. My ass kicked.
Although I still see something right there. What does it say? CEW. Oh, so you did win.
Oh, well, I wasn't going to lose. I mean, a little blood didn't hurt nobody.
Well, you say you got your ass kicked, but you look like you're doing pretty well right now.
Well, in the words of LA Guns, he brought a knife to a gunfight, and I wasn't missing.
There we go.
Well, and for Ozzy, it's Get Me Through is my favorite Ozzy song.
That's a good one.
Fuck yeah.
That's a good one.
I think that's one that doesn't get talked about enough.
No, there's so many. There's so many. We can do an entire podcast about that, but
sorry, that's a piece of ice. But no, I mean, that was crazy. I mean, Jay Alpha Miller's intense. He's probably the most intense being I've been in the ring with. He may not be like, he's so young into wrestling, and I'll give him his props. I have no issues with, he did what he needed to do. He did nothing that I wouldn't have done. If somebody's got a wound, you take advantage of it. You have to survive the day. The ass you may save may be your own. He was trying to save his own ass and grab a championship along the way. He's the most intense being. He's very young. I hope that down the road, and hopefully not against me, but his wrestling intensity picks up just as much of his physical intensity he brings, because when he's looking at that flag, it truly is for his country. All the respect in the world for that, but when it's my time to shine, there's nobody touching me.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that one bit. And, something that we've remarked that essentially since Jay hit the scene in Coastal is it's been such a rapid ascent to the main event for him in such a short span of time. I mean, when you look at the crop of talent coming into Coastal right now, Jay aside, who else are you excited about that's coming up the ranks right now?
Man, I'm telling you, I mean, we can praise the Allentown boys all day long. I mean, I know they've been around for, about a year or so. Well, I'm thinking I showed up in February of last year. If I remember right, it seems like Allentown showed up maybe the end of last year. So, the 8 months or so. I'd love to wrestle any and all of them. That's a group that I'd love to. I put a title on the line against them, and I'd love to press my luck. Jay, we got Jay. Young Mighty Joe's coming along. He's got wins under his belt. He's a wild card for sure. I'm trying to think through. There's Coastals may have the most diverse and youngest roster. There's a couple of older guys, but there's not really many. We have such a young roster. I'm one of the youngest in the group. Very fortunate that I busted my ass my whole life to be the face of Coastal Empire Wrestling. And I'm very excited to see what other talent that we bring in. I know I have some friends that, whether you like them or not, they're showing up, they're showing out. Their attitudes may not be the same way that mine is towards Savannah, Georgia, because if Savannah's made me their hometown, their QB1, if you will. And I have friends like Rosario Grillo. He doesn't like Savannah. He's made very known. There's been a lot of phone calls where I've calmed him down about Savannah. But no, I'm very excited to see what the next 2-3 years of Coastal, along with me grabbing a certain little ID and putting it in my wallet and raising the stock of it as well.
I like where your head's at.
Always shooting for a goal.
One name that was not mentioned real quick was the new number one contender. How are we feeling about that?
So excitement. That's the purest of words. When it comes to Michael Walker, I will admit that he is the only man in professional wrestling to ever humble me, and he humbled me in one of the matches that I don't think it's talked about enough, especially for the matches that CEW was having at the time. I feel like, and I'll toot my own horn, I feel like when I came to CEW, the stock of in-ring work really picked up. I think it was that match that really put people on the card, because Savannah, as much as it was known and everyone knew about Coastal, when I showed up, I feel like the radar was instantly, kind of picked up. I think everybody saw it. They're like, oh, in Georgia wrestling, Southeastern wrestling, Hunter James is the name, and now he's taking over Savannah, Georgia. So then I had matches with Fro. We went 27 minutes. I think it's stupid how my memory works. It's like a 27-minute match that opens the show for the Chaos Championship. It's still one of my favorite matches. Fro's my absolute favorite opponent, and in Savannah, Georgia, there's a win that I need back. I need it back. Every time I walk in there and I see him in the locker room, I have nothing but love and respect for him. But there's this itch on my shoulder that he has beaten me one time in a span of my wrestling career, and that one time was in the place where I am heavyweight champion. So I really don't feel like the number one guy at times. I feel like it's a 1A, 1B when I should be a definitive 1. And this Saturday, we get to find out who that number one is. Is it their hero or their champion?
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. I don't think anybody could have said it better. I mean, what I've come to appreciate is that anytime there are segments with you talking about Fro, or he comes up and kind of you are always kind of chasing that one blemish on your record, and that, at least for me, and I certainly don't want to speak for the podcast, Dad, but I certainly that's a true champion's mentality of looking at the imperfections of your overall body of work as the guy, and knowing that this is one that you want to get back, especially against somebody I would consider another pillar to Coastal, much like you are. This is a clash of titans here this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those cases too where, like I said, it's one time, and like I said, he is my favorite opponent. He's my toughest opponent every time. I know every time I walk in there, I'm a changed man in some way. There's no way I walk out the same exact performer, athlete, just wrestler overall. It's very much just that one time that he beat me in Savannah. I've said it numerous of times. I think that I showed up with a blonde, a dog, and an ego on my shoulder a mile wide, and that ego got crushed real quick. But I think it was for the better. There's not a lot of times where I say, dang, my ego got crushed, and it really worked.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times where my ego gets hurt a little bit, and I'm just like, no, that's not right. Now I have to go get revenge. And I don't feel like it's not a revengeful thing. It's just sometimes I feel that everyone looks at it like, what's the video game? The Last of Us. Like my little brother,
Yeah.
I'm not a video game guy. My little brother is. He was telling me at the first game, it was all about love, and the second game was about hate. I don't feel that it's that way with Fro. It's all, I think it's kind of reversed in a way. I think the first match, especially in Savannah, I didn't hate Fro. I had all the respect in the world for him, but I was coming out of a hateful, state of mind because I thought I was, my shit didn't stink and I had to be the Billy Badass pro wrestler, come in there, take a title, and go back to my hotel room. But not necessarily. Now we're coming to a place of love at Legends Lowcountry this weekend, and it's a time to step up for both of us because we're both multiple-time Georgia Wrestling History Award winners, and now we get to prove why we are that. Nobody talks about this. Savannah's the promotion of the year, promoters of the year, bookers of the year, match of the year, feud of the year, male performers. Like, we can go on and on about what Savannah has brought to the table, and I never feel like it's big enough for the state of Georgia or the Southeast as a whole. We are the best at what we do, and there's nobody touching us. And when you put Fro and Hollywood in your main event, who knows what you're getting? Because I've said it more times than I can count. I put on different matches every single time. I've never had the same match twice. And if anybody that wants to say otherwise can look at the string of championship matches since I've won. A handicap match, a pure wrestling match with CT Keys. Me and Dax, I felt like was straight from the Attitude Era, just going back and forth, throwing live rounds. Me and Chad Skywalker may be the wildest wrestler I've ever wrestled. Dude, that dude, why? Like, I don't, it's not even why does he do it? It's, and it's not how, because I know how athletic he is. But sometimes when I was wrestling him, I confused myself on what I should do. It was a lot of second guessing, but I had to just follow my gut. And then this match with Jake Alpha Miller, the intensity that I had to overcome, not only with blood dripping down my forehead, but a top rope not being there doesn't help. So I'm excited for me and Fro, for sure. It's going to be something very special, something that I don't think anybody will ever forget in Savannah or in the Southeastern wrestling and wrestling in general.
I like it.
So I guess my question is, obviously, title's on the line. You're going in there against a friend.
Yep.
How do you stay focused and how do you put that aside, that friendship? Because at the end of the day, this is for your championship.
Yeah, this is, I have to go, I do this pretty often when I have to wrestle friends. I still do coach amateur wrestling, specifically Greco-Roman wrestling. I was really good at Greco-Roman. I'm a 3-time national champion. I had to wrestle friends in high school. I had to wrestle friends in tournaments all the time for little championships, big championships, opening matches. Like, you have to wrestle your friends. It just is what it is. We're in a business where we travel the roads. We see each other in locker rooms. You build bonds with these guys. And Fro was one that I built with early because we were both amateur wrestlers. So on Friday, I do not have a show. It's my first Friday off in a while. And I did that specifically because I knew this match was going to be a big deal. I will be going to my old wrestling room and I will be locking in mentally. I know I have to show up, find my headspace, and realize that when the room gets hot and you're cutting weight, it's only you cutting that weight. Nobody else matters. And I know I'm going to say it 100 times. No disrespect to Fro. All the love in the world for him. But the championship that wasn't supposed to be Hunter James's became Hunter James's. I wasn't supposed to be a CEW guy. I was supposed to show up, win a championship, maybe come back. I really had the mentality of taking the Coastal, Chaos Championship and not coming back. I was going to maybe pull a little CM Punk, if you will.
No.
Goodbye. little Pepsi Phil guy. Yeah. But I became their guy, much like Pepsi Phil. I'm everybody's guy. Everybody knows what they're getting out of me, and no, I have to go in there and wrestle a friend. And you know what? When push comes to shove, you do whatever you have to do to get the W.
Yeah. And speaking of the Coastal Chaos Championship, as a former holder of the belt myself, I want to talk to you about a massive loss that Hakeem suffered at Tusslepalooza. Pick your poison. Bryce Cannon getting a big win here. Tell us a little bit about what's going, what you see for that division going forward for the rest of 2025. I know that we have got some incredible action lined up at Legends of the Lowcountry. Bryce and Dax taking each other on in a tables match. But where do you see that division going right now?
That may be the most wide open division in professional wrestling. Like, I don't know who's next for me. I don't know who's next, whether it's after Fro and I'm very, yes, it sounds, I know one of you guys are gonna go, oh, you're overseeing Fro. I'm not overseeing Fro. Podcast Dad feels like he would tell me, well, are you overlooking him? I'm not overlooking him, but I don't know what the heavyweight division really entails right now because we don't know the outcome of our match versus the Chaos. That's the most wide open. I feel like everybody's in that division right now. You can put any of the Allen brothers in there. Like, because there's so many Allen brothers. There's more Allen brothers freaking match wrestlers. I don't understand. Like, there's so many of them. And then a new one shows up just to run a merch stand. And then a new one shows up to sit in front of them. And then a new one shows up to referee. And I don't know. There's so many. But you can put the Allen brothers. You have Hakeem as champion. And Hakeem has his catchphrases about devastation and conquering and chaos and blah, blah, blah. He's a lot of talk. I'm honestly getting annoyed with him. I at this point, I'd love just to do a champion versus champion match, take that championship away from him, vacate the title, get rid of Hakeem, and then let somebody else be that champion. Because as much as I love being a double champ, that's a lot of work if I keep getting busted open. All right, not cool, Jay Alpha Miller. No, but if you Bryce and Dax, like I would love to see some oddball combinations for the the Chaos Championship. Looking, we just saw Dax and Hakeem. Does Dax get, or excuse me, Bryce and Hakeem, and does Bryce get a title shot now because he beat Hakeem? If Dax beats Bryce, does Dax get a title shot? There's a lot of I feel like it's a murder board, and these strings are everywhere where you don't know where. Yeah. I feel like it's very linear when it comes to the heavyweight championship right now. Versus the Chaos Championship is a murder board. I don't know where we're going. It's a roadmap of Tupelo, and I don't know how we're getting to Tupelo, man.
Yeah.
It's fine. So there's always one constant, though. There's always one constant. Who's that champion?
Well, the main champion that matters, that's Hunter James. Next question.
Yeah.
How many days? How many days, Eric?
Yeah, whatever. I don't really care.
Exactly.
So speaking of, you brought up the murder board and kind of connecting the dots and things. I'm going to go along the same route. Podcast Dad, you might as well turn your camera off because I want to get your thoughts on this because I don't think that I've asked you this yet. What do you think is on the VHS?
Don't answer.
Okay. Nope. So I have a whole theory.
You scooted in.
No.
I've got, dude, I have a theory. I've thought about this and how, because I've been asked this before and I've said I don't know too many times. So one night I was driving home and I got it. Okay, so if anybody remembers, Randy Reno is the only person that knows what's on the tape, right?
That's
because
correct.
Randy, Chad, and Simon were on the couch sleeping. I think that Simon Sermon, Pentagon just showed up. Okay, so Simon Sermon has a new henchman, right? And it's Scratch because it has to be Scratch.
Sheriff Scratch.
Yeah, they Scratchy Scratch, right? Scratchy Scratch. Yeah. I think they're in a love affair. So then,
scandalous.
But there's other people on this tape. I don't think this is a PG-13 tape. I think that there's multiple members of Simon's little cult, and the church peoples are into this. Pastor Donald Jakes is on this somewhere. I'm still connecting dots, but I think it's just a full embarrassment for Simon. Because why would he care so much if it wasn't something embarrassing? And if there's anybody that wants to see Simon Zerman get embarrassed, it's me.
And me.
That's fair. I don't know where the podcast ad went. Allegedly, again, don't want to get in trouble here, but there's something damning on that tape. I'm not sure. There's something damning, and I think you're right when you say something big for Simon. Because why do you want that tape so badly? You are literally in control of CEW.
Of everything.
You know, I just had half a thought too. I didn't think about this. I remember I had the tape in my hands when I went against Chad Skywalker, and
you did.
He was very upset when I tried to smash the tape. So it's something that he doesn't want to forget it. It's something he doesn't want to forget, because why wouldn't he want me to smash it? And I don't even know why I didn't, but I think it was, obviously Chad was there, so I kind of got distracted. But so something that he wants to relive. So that's why I think it is a not PG-13 product. I don't think that's PG.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's fair. Pat thinks it's Pastor Jake and Simon together. I gotta say, I am hella curious. I'm glad that this weekend we will finally get some closure. I feel very confident in the fact that we are going to get that closure, figure out what's on this VHS once and for all. Skywalker seems to be the man with all of the secrets here. Outside of the main event, which is going to tear the house down, Hunter, what else are you looking forward to this weekend? I mean, like you said, 10 incredible matches, including yours. And it looks like we've got some women's division action too.
Well, yeah, and it's hard to, especially because CEW brings in the women specifically for the IWE Women's Championship. We have a great partnership with them and the Blackman family. What male doesn't want to go watch women beat the hell out of each other? There's a reason there's a women's division in the UFC and wrestling and amateur wrestling. Like, it's hot. It is what it is. I'm definitely I'm just upset that I won't get to watch it live, because I'm going to have to put my headphones in and, get warmed up. But there's the women's action for the IWE Women's Champion number one contendership. We have the tables match, the Chaos Championship. It's Cantrell and Christian Taylor. That's a match I'm truly interested in. I've gotten really close with Kevin Cantrell. I personally helped Christian Taylor when he first started. So me and Cantrell's have a lot of, we like our action figures, so we like to talk about what figures that we need in our house. And Christian Taylor's a freaking nutbag. A little bit. I think he watched American Psycho, and took it a little too literally as a kid. Jesus, Patrick Bateman wants his stuff back. So we've got that. Hakeem and Peps. I remember Brewhouse when we was at the different venue, and Mouth of the Southeast lit Hakeem up. He lit his ass up. So I'm hoping that he lights him up a little more. Let's get a new Chaos Championship around a new waist. I'm trying to think of off the top of my head. Do you have the matches by chance?
I do.
While he's looking that up, can I ask you a quick question?
Please.
Again, I think you guys talked about the tape. I don't know. I had to leave. There's another little bit of a scandal going on in Coastal right now. Mm-hmm. Who attacked Nikki 8?
Man, so I'm trying to remember what month that was. I wasn't questioned. I wasn't at the venue when it happened. No. Trust me, as a man who shows up with a woman at a wrestling show, we are never on time. Never. Starbucks had to be bought.
Not going to say a word.
No, I'm saying all the words, and she's on that side of the screen right now. The Starbucks had to be bought. The Buc-ee's had to be stopped at. My ferry was late. It was a lot. But no, I don't know. I'm trying to think. So Tommy was getting that. So if Tommy was getting that, so it can't be Tommy. Was it Jimmy? Did Jimmy want the spot?
But you have to, you can't help but argue the fact that Tommy has benefited from the fact that Nikki is not around. While they may not have won the tag team tournament championships, he's had his fair share of singles matches as of late. I mean, last month he had a match against the former CEW Heavyweight Champion, Randall Reno III. And this weekend he gets to wrestle a guy who came up short against you last month in Jay Alpha Miller. So Tommy has benefited from Nikki being on the shelf that while I can't say that I saw him attack Nikki, but he has benefited from it.
Well, and I think Nikki's clear. If I remember the tape, the video correctly, he was getting something out of the trunk. So, and the camera was always on him, so we're good there. I think, my bet is it's Jimmy. If you made me put pen to paper, my guess right now. But I think Tommy's just had the Shawn Michaels effect, sorry, Marty, but I don't need you, and if he can get, if he can get a championship around his waist, sounds like the Intercontinental Championship back in that early 90s, and who knows, maybe Jimmy's just sharing, a little Sherry Martel action.
That's fair.
They do have similar hair.
Do you have the other matches real quick, Mr. Cincinnati?
I do, yes. We've got Zach Mosley taking on CT Keys, first time ever. What are your thoughts?
Rough.
All right. CT is a bad motherfucker.
Can't argue with that.
He's still, the body slams that he gave me when we wrestled back in March are still quaking on my back.
Yeah.
When you take 5, 6, 7 of those in a row, that humbles you very quickly. That, first of all, you need to work out more because this dude's way too strong. I don't know what his mama fed him, and I love Zach to death, but prediction is CT is I'm not saying it's going to be easy for CT.
Yeah.
My prediction is Keys, because Zach Mosley, if Peps is focused on championships and Bryce is focused on, Dax, is Zach's head fully on CT Keys, or is he focused on his friends? CT's showing up by himself.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true. I mean, that's a good way to look at it. And he is. And that's the thing is we've been saying on here for a couple of months now, it seems like things have been rocky with Exotic Youth. And last month was kind of the first kind of get right. It felt like we saw from them in a while. Success in the handicap match. Bryce went in to pick your poison here. Can't help but wonder if that is going to be short-lived. Again, CT Keys is a fucking specimen. I'm sorry, Zach, but I think I gotta go Keys here as far as my prediction here this weekend.
Yeah.
I still
Next
love
up,
Zach. I'm picking Zach.
I think I want to see CT and Hakeem for the Coastal Chaos Championship.
CT's got to earn his way there. Hold on.
He might do that this weekend.
He's got to earn his way.
I mean, if Peps wins, I don't want CT to kill Peps. But
Peps isn't going to win.
No, okay. If that's where we are. Okay.
I gotta say, especially let's talk that match. Hakeem Young, Cornelius Pepperbottom Coastal Chaos Championship. Hakeem is going to be pissed. He lost to Bryce last month. We saw him lose a couple of times this past weekend. He had to meet me in person, so he's not a happy man. So I think that at this point, we like Exotic Youth, but give me Hakeem here. I think he's got some rage he's going to let out, and it's Pep is.
Yeah, we've seen when things are going well for Hakeem, how well he does.
Yep.
Now he's facing some adversity. How aggressive is he going to be? How mean is he going to be? Like, this is going to be a different Hakeem than I think we've ever seen.
I'm going to go with Hakeem only for the pure fact that I know he has an athletic background. We've talked about this before, our splitting of ways. And it seems like every time he got pretty much blackballed in Georgia for a little bit and he came back. I was one of the people that, welcomed him with open arms. We had very deep conversations about our athletic careers. If he's anything like I am, when your back's against the wall, you shoot and you don't miss, because if you miss, it'll be the last time you get a shot. And I don't think he's missing.
I like it. I think the last match we have to cover here, the Wall and a mystery partner will test the turmoil, in a tag match with the Allen brothers. Wall coming up short to Chad Skywalker last month, and they were responsible for breaking the top rope. At least that's at least from what I saw.
He's a Wall. What did you expect?
How about you don't break the top rope, you Wall?
He's a Wall. His name is The Wall.
It's a name. His name's Tyler Stevens, okay?
I'm not going to say that to him.
Fight me. Getting a brain buster.
I would like to see that, actually. I'd pay good money for that. That'd be awesome.
I am going to go. So it's any two Allen brothers versus Wall and a mystery partner, correct?
Yep.
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay. Allen brothers have lost a handful of times to Suge and Wall, but it's not going to be Suge and Wall.
That's fine.
You know, so what if the Wall's chemistry with somebody else isn't the same as it is with Suge?
I'm going to throw out a long shot guess here just because
Are we thinking the same person?
I think we are thinking the same person. He was the MVP of Scenic City Invitational this past weekend. I could see Casey Owens showing up and teaming up with the Wall. Again, 3 incredible matches and just barely came up short in the final 2 against Jameson Shook at SCI. He's somebody else that has a chip on his shoulder. And, I mean, when it comes to just in-ring IQ, I think that Casey Owens is unmatched. And he does not like us at all, and I'm saying that.
He does not.
Well, I don't know this fella real personally. I've seen the name, but let me tell you what. You're a bunch of brothers. You don't know which one you're getting. You're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, left, right, up, down, front, and center. I'm going Allentown all day. I'm going with the Allentown boys because I don't think anybody has more heart than the Allentown, besides me. But the Allentown boys are just something else. Come on, if they even live, I don't know where their combine is. I don't know how tired the dad and the mom is from freaking football shooting these suckers out on a shotgun pass. But they sit hip and they toss that suckers right into wrestling school. That's what they do. I'm going Allentown because I don't think the Wall has chemistry with anybody like he does Suge, and the Suge ain't there.
Fair enough. It's going to be a damn good show. Legends of the Lowcountry, VFW Post 660 this Saturday night. $20 front row seats, $3 Wells, $3 Miller Lights. Hollywood Hunter James, thank you so much for joining us. Before we let you go, here's your last chance. Tell everybody why they need to be watching Legends of the Lowcountry, and if they're not watching it, why they need to be in that arena.
Point blank, period. Hollywood Hunter James shows up, shows off, and shows out like no other. And when he's going against one of his best opponents, his best friend, you know magic is going to be made. But, Fro, for the very last time before I see you on Saturday, you better kiss all your aspirations of being CEW Heavyweight Championship goodbye because Hollywood has arrived. Hollywood, out.
Hollywood Hunter James, always good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Podcast that. It is great to see you, and thank you to everybody watching tonight. As always, you can find us on X and TikTok at Junkies Pod. We've already run through the socials. We will be back tomorrow with a brand new episode. MPW standout Brendan Devine, as well as our friends from Folkwear, will be on the show tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Thank you all so much. For Hollywood Hunter James, for the podcast that, I'm Mr. Cincinnati. Until tomorrow, enjoy the graps. Good shit.